Happy Halloween and welcome to the Secret Beach webinar. Hopefully that'll scare the hell out of some of you and wake you up. Welcome to the webinar. Oh yeah, I look frightening. I'm watching the replay here. Woo, let me use that. What's happening, everybody? You won't mind if I do the whole presentation with my mask on, will you? Here, I can even put my glasses on too. There we go. Now I can see. Let me get that off so you can actually hear me. What's happening, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Halloween webinar. Wasn't even on my radar to do it, and I just, I spend as much time kind of working on Halloween costumes as I do working on Christmas CDs, so it's only fitting that we should do one in September. So you got, the next 5 weeks to go find and curate some good costumes and get them sold. So I figured it'd be a good time to show you guys. And it's Halloween time, so I had to bust out the Pumpkinhead rum. It is not pumpkin flavored, mind you. I don't know, really sure why they used a pumpkin as their mascot, but it is Pumpkinhead rum. And if you have not picked up your Secret Beach glasses yet, make sure to drop me a note and buy them. Only 14 bucks for one or 25 for two. Because let me tell you, rum tastes extra special out of Secret Beach glass. How is everybody doing? Are you ready for the holidays? Are you ready for Halloween? Have you started shopping for Halloween costumes to flip on eBay? Those of you who are watching live right now, let me know if you have, and we'll wait for a couple more people to pop in here, and then we'll be off and running. So who so far has already bought some Halloween stuff? Has anyone sold anything that they bought so far? Tonight, I'm hearing a weird echo. I have found my echo problem. Okay, cool. Yeah, because you're going to see a couple sold already from stuff I found. And, we're going to talk about a little bit more towards the end, but there is a wave. Christmas music has a wave and a crest. But the downside of the wave on Christmas music isn't as abrupt as, like, say, Halloween or Easter or Valentine's Day. The day after ain't no one giving a shit. So you got to make sure that you're kind of done with the wave. So that's what we're going to talk about. It's one of the things we're going to talk about because you don't want to be holding a bunch of stuff too late. So, oh, nice, Pam. You've already got some and sold some. Diane sold a couple things. Sold Halloween. Chris sold Halloween decorations, but not costumes. Cool. All right. So let's get into it here. Oh, that's my water. Cool. Now, I am, no one said anything about this picture where I said it's a tail, I swear. I wrote that because I showed this picture to a few people, and they're like, what's hanging between your legs? And I thought it was quite funny because I never thought of it as anything but the tail. But yes, when you're just quickly glancing at that picture, it could be something other than the tail. So let's get into it now. Let me ask one more question for those of you who are live right now. Has anyone watching live right now never bought or thought about buying Halloween costumes and the like? Have you not ever combed the racks of Halloween and looked for cool, unique stuff? James sells baby costumes better on Amazon, slow on eBay. Now, it's funny, James. I've never sold any costumes on Amazon. Now, I'm assuming you mean new. I guess not. I guess you could mean used too. But has anyone who is watching live never done this at all? At all. All right, Diana, never for eBay. Okay, cool. And we're at Joe, have not. All right, good. Well, I'm glad we got some new. Oh, Robin, hey, you've never sold costumes either, huh? Maggie, cool. All right. I fell in love with the Halloween rack. It's not been a long love affair. It's been about 8-9 years. And I've always loved Halloween, but I'm not one of those that is like nutty, like I live it all year, but I do like it and enjoy it. And the cool thing about Halloween is because we have a pirate bathroom in our house, skulls and stuff you would find at Halloween work well into our pirate bathroom. So I like it for that part too. But about 9 years ago, I was actually thrifting with Griff from eBay up at a Savers in San Jose, and we hit the Halloween section, and I found some stuff that really wasn't Halloween, really. and you're going to see it coming up. But that's when I kind of fell in love with it and knew it was a place to make good money. Max says our thrift stores here don't have Halloween racks. Yeah, some do, some don't. I went to a Goodwill today. They had a banner. Here, this is me at Savers, but the banner at this Goodwill was about as big. It said Halloween Halloween headquarters, Halloween center. And I go in, and I shit you not, the Halloween section is about this big. I'm like, the banner is 27 times larger than the entire section. Like, don't even put that banner up there. Your section's horrible. But Savers really knocks it out of the park. Now, you might not have a thrift store near you that has a curated used section, but I'm also going to be talking about things that you can find throughout the thrift store that really isn't costumes or normal costume sections, but you can find good stuff that you can either A, be costumes, or B, just good stuff to flip. All right, so let's get right into it. Now, like we just said, there is a dedicated costume section in all Savers. And what I want you to do is stay away from the new costumes, only used. Savers has their own line of new costumes. There is no money to be made there. They're not expensively made. They're rather cheap, and they don't sell them for all that much, but there is no room to flip because they're made by the thousands and thousands. So what you want to do is focus on these used racks. Now, the racks are usually like this, where it starts with kids' costumes, then ladies, then men's. But I beg of you to go through them all. I don't do a lot of kids' stuff, but actually we've bought a lot of kids' costumes this year. But what happens is smaller ladies' things ends up in the kids' section. Ladies' stuff ends up in the men's section. Men's stuff ends in the ladies' section. They start these racks with good intentions, but some employees and definitely the customers don't pay attention and just stick stuff back where they think it goes, and it's usually never right. Now, besides the dedicated racks, a lot of the Savers do the end caps too. So you walk in and this rack is straight ahead of you, and then if you look down at all the other rows of clothing, normal clothing, the end cap is all Halloween stuff. So like this one has a lot of wigs and hats and some wings. These two had little themes. The one on the left was kind of hippie theme. So as you can see, the stuff on the right is their new stuff. So there are packaging of earrings and wigs and stuff, but all the t-shirts and that little hat and wig on the mannequin head, that's all the used stuff. So ignore the new, look at the used. Now the one on the right, I think they're going for kind of a punk look. So it was some new stuff and then some used stuff. So just make sure you're catching all the end caps. This one on the left was kind of Victorian, kind of steampunk look. So I'm skipping this new skirts, but I am looking through that rack of shirts and even that top hat. And then this was just a menagerie of witches hats, and that's obviously a gay squid rainbow right there, and all kinds of fun hats. So make sure that you're always checking out the end caps. Let me put my computer on mute. There we go. Oh, I can't put my computer on mute because I'm going to play you guys a video. So I went out with my assistant and I taught her how to pick Halloween costumes, and we hit 5 Savers. We were out for about 6 hours total, maybe, because we didn't spend a whole lot of time. But I wanted to show you what a quick 6 hours at 5 different Savers produces. This video is about 3 minutes long, and I will look to the chat once I push play. Just let me know if you can hear it okay. So let me get it going. Microphone. Oh, hang on, wrong computer. Okay, so let's do this. right. This is the hard work of the first day that I went out to Halloween shop. So I specifically went to Savers Halloween shop. I did look around at everything else, but this is what we found in all six Savers. So I'm going to go through real quick, but just to give you an idea, you can see how much is here, and that was us being selective. All right, so this is not really a costume, but it was on the costume rack. This will do quite well. And the big key is full-size pajamas. These are just Nick and Nora giraffe pajamas, but hey, don't you want to be a giraffe at Halloween? Along the same lines, I know some sparkly unicorns out there. And then for the fellas, these are just Superman pajamas with cape, but they're costumes. So we got some more of those. Then masks. We got a lot of cool masks. We got Evil Clown. We got Scary Girl. I'm not exactly sure who that is. There we go. We have Werewolf, which is pretty cool. We'll get more into detail on him. And we got this bitchin' lion. So keep your eyes peeled for the masks. And then things that aren't costumes but end up in the Halloween section. Johnny Cupcake t-shirts. Full coveralls like a mechanic. So if you want to be Todd the mechanic. Again, full outfit. So here's Mickey Mouse with ears. And then I don't do a lot of kids stuff, but when you have complete kids costumes in the packaging, so we got Sonic, we've got Ash, we've got, I don't know what the hell this is, but thanks to Sophia, she's like, oh, that's something important, Skylander. See, when I don't have a child, I don't know what the hell this stuff is, but Sophia, who does have children, can tell me exactly what I should be looking for. Here's a whole Dark Knight Joker outfit. I don't know if this is a specific Disney princess, but this is a heavy-duty, nice from Disneyland outfit. Then we got some more costumes. We got Thor. We got Mike. We got Sully somewhere. There we go. Again, kid stuff. I mean, I'm not looking just for kids, but we just happen to find a lot of good kid stuff. Another full outfit, the platypus from Phineas and Ferb. Well, his name is with tail. Disney princess hat, because you know you might have that costume already, but you're just missing the hat. Fun 80s sweaters. What's that? That's not supposed to be there. Neither is that. And then cool, crazy, like you can be Mrs. Roper for Halloween outfit, like a captain. And then look at that little baby new with tags Winnie the Pooh. So besides other stuff, this is the bulk of the Halloween costumes I found, and that's just one day. And guess what? They come out every single day, so check your store often. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I wasn't thinking when I put this together that I needed to be on a different computer. So sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, cool. So that was just a little demonstration. That was just one day. And we also bought a bunch of jeans and other stuff too. So, you know, it wasn't just that handful of costumes. That was the main impetus of us going that day and teaching Sophia, because Sophia lives across the street from a Savers, basically. So every day when she goes home, she then buys, you know, any costumes. I said, bring them to work, take pictures, list them, we'll split it. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about, as you saw at the top of the show, is masks. Oh, and Debbie is in the chat. Wave your hand, Debbie. She is compiling all the questions for me, as always. Thank you, Debbie. So she will grab Jen's question, and we'll start with that when we get to the question portion of the show. All right, so let's talk about masks. This is a very cool mask. It sells retail new for about 30 bucks, but because it had the articulated mouth, I really liked it. Even if I don't sell it, I'll play with it. It's a lot of fun. But I'm also going to do a quick little video because I think a video will help sell this. We have not listed this yet because I knew I was going to wear it tonight, and I'm having so much fun playing with it. But what's cool is, especially at Savers, they a lot of times will have their masks on its own rack on one of those end caps, or sometimes they don't have the end cap. They have all the hats and wigs together, and then hanging between them is the masks. And so they don't really stick out. This is an actual Disney product. It is one of the characters from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Can't remember his name, right? One of the, I think it was one of the captains of the competing ships. But what a bitchin' mask, and it sold pretty quick. And I think I sold it for around $35, $40, and I paid about $4 or $5. This was last Halloween. And we're going to talk about things you need coming up, but you can probably guess already. You need a good head. This was from, I think it was a movie called Nightbreed, and this is the second I saw it. And the way it was hanging, you know, they put those clips on, they hang them up, and so it just looks all sad and deflated. But because I take the time to actually look through it, things were catching my eye, and this is the kind of thing that I could see was way better quality than your average just kind of cheap chintzy mask. And so when I bought it, and I think it was like $7, and I got it home and did some research, and I found out exactly what it was. I ended up selling it for, I think, $65 last Halloween, pretty quick too. So you don't have to know exactly what it is, but like with anything, if you sell clothing, if you sell sports equipment, you can feel the difference between cheap, you know, big lots, dollar store crap and quality expensive stuff. You can really feel the difference. Same with masks. There's a heavier duty latex in a quality expensive mask than there is in a cheap, you know, $20 brand new mask. Now, as I showed you before, this was the lion I got and the killer clown. The killer clown isn't worth a lot, but you know, it's got a good look to it. And we're going to talk about different ways and different avenues to sell these things towards the end of this presentation. But do want to point out one thing. I talk about this quite often. I talked about it last night on Thrifty Business when Robin was showing her hat sale, her ball cap sale. When you take your pictures of any product, you want to give a full kind of 360 full of pictures. But anytime something has depth, and everything has depth, this is round and smooth. It doesn't have any real depth, but these masks have depth. So instead of doing a straight on shot, give it a 3/4 angle, and it really shows the mask off better. You can really see the size of the mouth and the teeth better on the lion. You can see the jutting out chin on the clown much better, and his ear and the shocking hair. So, and not a lot of people do that. Just turn your head a little bit, give it like a 3/4 profile, and it shows up so much better. Plus, you always got to remember those people shopping on their phone, which is about half our customers. Something's got to catch their eye. This is more eye-catching than straight on. Now, sometimes you find things that aren't masks. So let's talk about the lower corner first. That is a Marvin the Martian helmet, basically. And although I'm a huge Marvin fan, that was my first tattoo. I love this. I knew I could sell it pretty quick. And so I put it up, and I think I got 45 or 50 bucks for it, and I paid about $6. Now, on the other side, the top left corner, is Medusa snakes in latex, and rubberized latex. It's sold before I could fix it, but once my assistant listed it, I said, hey, Dingaling, you have it on backwards. The snake should be facing out, not facing the back of the head. And so she just laughed. But by the time I went to fix it, it had already sold. So keep your eyes peeled for not just masks, but for head coverings also that could be part of costumes. And then here is the two masks I showed you. And the wolf looks so much better on black. It really popped because, as you can see, my normal background's a very light gray, which is just fine for a creepy, scary girl, but it would really lose the wolf. You wouldn't see the wolf. The wolf would be just buried in the background. So make sure you have a good background to match your item. Now, we're going to talk about the maker of the wolf here, and the maker of the wolf is Don Post. Don Post Company is the most famous maker of masks that people are hunting for. So I have covered up the sale price. Now, a couple of you know, so please do not play this little fun game. I'm going to have the rest of you guess. I sold this mask within 5 minutes of listing it. I paid $6 for it. How much did I sell it for? I'm going to take a little sip while you guys give me your answers. So I'm going to show you some more Don Post masks coming up once you guys have guessed, and I'm going to show you how to find out if you have a Don Post mask. And Don Post masks sell for quite a bit of money, and so you definitely, if nothing else, want to find Don Post masks. Haha, Christine, $7. You are funny. So we got 125, 150, 50, 80, 90, 120, 74, 150, 75. So Debbie, you nailed it on the dot. I sold it for, in 5 minutes, for $125. Now I might have been able to hold out for a little bit more, a little bit longer. I might have been able to counter, but I turned $6 into 125 like that. And because I was doing the presentation today, I wanted to have this nice quick sale to show you how quick you can flip and how much money can be made out of Halloween. So I may have sacrificed 20 bucks just to show you guys proof. I ain't mad. I'm just telling you. If you could, now, of all the Halloween costumes, because like I said, we're going to talk about when to get out, you could hang on to Don Post masks for longer than Halloween. People will hunt for them. People will buy them. And so the key is, after Halloween, hunt through Craigslist, hunt through your local apps like OfferUp and stuff for people maybe getting rid of masks right after Halloween. Or maybe put an app in Craigslist buying your old Halloween costumes. If anyone sends you pictures of Don Post masks, you want to go get them. Now, just to give you an example of what kind of money's out there, here's a Don Post mummy mask. Not an exciting title. Don Post mummy Halloween mask, only 5 words, sold for $400 on September 19th. Here's a Don Post Phantom of the Opera Lon Chaney mask, sold for $379 on August 29th. Here is just an old man mask or scientist or wizard, 1977 Don Post, $356. And here is just a scary dude, Tor Johnson, $99.95. And you will see somewhere on the back of the mask Don Post Studios, and then usually the copyright and the date, or maybe always. I said usually, I think it's always. So if Don Post has not been on your radar, please immediately put it on your radar. Write that name down. Remember that name's pretty easy. And you're going to want to find those masks because that's where the money is. Now, speaking of money, and I have not been lucky enough to find any, but Morris Costumes is kind of the modern version of Don Post. Morris Costumes makes fantabulous masks. So now we had one little guess. Let's have a second little guess. I'm going to show you what these 4 sold for. What do you think these 4 masks sold for on average? At the top there, we got like a live tree. Then obviously we got Jason. The cool thing about Jason is his mask removes. So it's a 2-part mask. Super duper cool. Then you got the Elephant Man, and then you got the giant skull. So what do you think these have sold for? And I'm guessing Morris costume masks aren't on anyone's radar as of yet, so you guys probably don't know. So Paul, got a good guess, $275, $350, $50. Maggie's going low. Maggie, you were way too low. I'll give you a little clue. Nellie guessed $500. She ain't even close. These are big time deals. Christine, Max, nope. All right, so good to think that you guys are thinking that's where we're at, because you're really going to want to find these $1,040, $1,038, $1,034, $1,036. So crazy money in these awesome masks. And I should have done the 2 pictures. Go look at this later. When you see the mask where Jason can take his mask off, man, that is so badass. So keep your eyes open for Morris Costumes. Now, here's a bonus word. Write this down. And for those of you who don't know this term, I will explain it. Here, let me have a little sip of my pumpkin rum. Cosplay. If you don't know what cosplay is, that is when adults, like me and the rest of you, dress up in costumes of superheroes, villains, knights, the round table, monsters, and they play act with other adults. It's basically being 8 years old in a 50-year-old body, and you wear costumes. So Halloween goes beyond Halloween. It's all year, but people will want these costumes for cosplay. So at this time of year, you don't need to fit cosplay in your title, but if you're still holding Halloween costumes and stuff after October 31st, you want to get out of Halloween costume, you want to put in cosplay. And cosplay will sell it. It's the people you see at the different Comic-Cons all dressed up. That's cosplay. And they act out and like they're doing like Knights of the Round Table kind of thing. They'll meet in the park and they'll have sword fights and all kinds of crazy shit. It's nothing I do, but you need to know that term because that will help you sell costumes all year round. Okay, so we talked about masks. Now let's talk about costumes. This is the Green Lantern. It was funny because a lot of people don't know a lot about Green Lantern. Apparently, someone asked me if I was Swamp Thing, and someone else asked me if I was a creature from the Black Lagoon. The Green Lantern is not just one human-looking guy. The Green Lantern is a corps of police that police the galaxy, and they're all different kinds of species that wear the Green Lantern costume. So the Green Lantern isn't a specific person. It's like being the cops or the FBI. So this was one of the Green Lanterns. So I found the whole outfit. It also comes with gloves and the Green Lantern ring. And the weird thing was, this was obviously worn because there's paint loss on the beak, but they never opened the gloves nor the ring. Like the whole point of a Green Lantern, if you don't know, is his ring, because he can use his ring and make things out of his ring. So it's so weird. It's so weird that someone wear this costume without the main part. It's like being Darth Vader not having the lightsaber. Like, I know you're Darth, but damn, you got to have a lightsaber. So when you see the full costumes, now last year I bought this hippie costume. It was the full costume in the bag. They called it Flower Power. But if you just took a picture of it in the bag, it's kind of sad looking. That's why you should bust out your mannequins, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit, and put the costume on. If you look at the left and look at the right, what's going to sell this? Not the left, the right for sure. So make sure you make your outfit attractive and visualize, so people can visualize themselves wearing it. Now, this was a larger size. Even though it says one size, it definitely fit up to a larger lady. And so I have a larger lady mannequin, and I put it on there and showed the curves off. Now, of course, I'm only showing you one picture, but I had pictures of all angles of it, so you could see all sides of it. And if you're a curvy lady, you can see, hey, I can wear this outfit. Boom, I'm on it. And I sold it rather quick. And I think I sold this one live and in person to somebody. We're going to talk about that in a bit. And again, on the left, it looks cute. But on the right, you can definitely see it a little bit better. I love what my assistant did. She hung the outfit, and it's a three-piecer, because I think the top and the bottom were two pieces. So she got it all together and then got the little hat hanging off the hanger. And so it worked out very well, just using a hanger with a little bit of ingenuity. All right, so here's a kid's Thor costume, and I don't have full kid mannequins, and it wouldn't fit in my adult mannequins. So Sophia used my female mannequin hanging half mannequin flip backwards. And that way we at least gave it a little bit of shoulders and at least showed it off. This was the Mickey Mouse costume that I showed you in the little video. And then here is the full Joker costume. So you got to hang it or put it together so you can see the full costume all in one shot. You will sell your costumes way quicker and better than people who don't show the whole outfit together, because we are a visual society for sure. And so when people see this, they can see themselves in the costume more so than when you just take a picture of it in the bag like this. Now, here's a awesome Street Fighter costume. This is a fine picture, but man, it looks so nice on the mannequin. Look how pretty that looks. So again, you can see it. It looks good. Now, the one thing I wanted to warn you on this outfit, and maybe an outfit you find, if you know Street Fighter and you see this cover, he's got this crazy, shocking, almost heat miser kind of hair. It did not come with the wig at all, like not even new. The wig was an add-on accessory you had to purchase. So in my listing, I made damn well sure that I said the wig is not included, because people would see this picture and be like, oh, I get this crazy red wig. No, you do not. You have to go buy that crazy red wig to make sure they were well aware of that. Now, while you're in the Halloween section, you will find Halloween sweaters. And isn't this gentleman sassy in his Halloween sweater? Like with anything, there are levels of quality. You can find a lot of Halloween sweaters. But if you're finding the, $12.99 Kmart sweaters, yeah, you might be able to flip them, but you're looking for better quality sweaters. Now, this one, if I found it, I would definitely grab, mainly because those buttons are awesome. The buttons are jack-o'-lanterns. The whole sweater vest looks great, but I could definitely tell there's a lot going on here. would be easy to sell. These are two sweaters I found last year. The one on the left is obviously a Halloween sweater. It's got a whole fall scene going on there. Great, great sweater. Sold it rather quick. And in the Halloween section was this vintage cheerleader sweater. And so the one on the left is just a sweater to wear during the holiday season. The one on the right is obviously for a costume. It was a little bit on the smaller side. And when I was buying it, I'm like, do you think I'm going to find someone named Julie, spelled J-U-L-I? But I only paid about $4 or $5 for it, and I ended up selling it for $25 or $26. So I got a nice return, and, you know, it was a vintage sweater. The girl might not have been named Julie. Maybe that was her character's name for Halloween. I don't know. Don't care. It sold. I made money. That's what I care about. Now, here's when I truly fell in love with the Halloween section. It wasn't for costumes. It was, you know, and I never really paid attention to it until I said about 8 or 9 years ago when I was hanging out with Griff, and I think Debbie Weeder, you were there, I'm pretty sure. We were up in San Jose. I think we found that fantabulous hat that I took a picture of you wearing. I'm pretty sure it was that day. But I found things in the Halloween section that weren't truly costumes, but I'm like, oh, that's worth a lot of money. So here's a prime example. This is, if you don't know, this is Sophia. This is my assistant. I said, hey, you got to put this jacket on. I got to show this awesome jacket off. Now, here is someone else who sold that jacket. Now, the one I found is in white. Theirs was in black. The brand is Levon, and it just sold for $30. Now, the one that Sophia found, if you look at her left hand, which is on the right side, it's new with tag still. Has the original $49 sticker on it. So I can get $30 for this easy. If someone can get get $30 for a used one, and I think the white on white looks much better than the black on white. But if it doesn't sell at Halloween time, which I'll get it up right now, that's the kind of thing that an older Midwestern lady would love to wear to Atlantic City with her girlfriends on a bus. Okay, so you see that in the Halloween section, and you're like, well, that's not really Halloween, but man, I can sell that. Here are 3 prime examples. I didn't buy any of these things because the return wasn't big enough, but that tutu really isn't a Halloween costume. It just happened to be a tutu. The middle thing are female motorcycle pants. Again, they're actual real motorcycle pants. It could be a costume, but it really isn't. And then that fantabulous fringe-laden jean jacket isn't a costume. It's a fringe-laden jean jacket, but it was in the costume section. So if you've never looked in the costume sections, and maybe you don't even want to deal with actual costumes, as you can see, there is tons of cool stuff that is not actual costumes. Here is an actual wedding dress that someone added some wings to for some reason, but I looked up the maker of the brand, and there was an okay return. Not well enough, but I could feel it as I'm going through the racks. I could feel the heft of that wedding dress. I'm like, oh, this ain't some cheap-ass costume. This has got to be a real wedding dress. And they were getting about 40 or 50, 60 bucks used for them, and I think they had it for 20. So the return wasn't the greatest, plus it had a long train. I would then have to photograph it, and because it had a long train, it was on the floor, it had gotten dirty. Sometimes I don't want to deal with things like dirty and long, and the return wasn't great enough. Now, and I forgot to put a slide in. Like with any holidays, November 1st, everything marked seasonal is on sale, 50% off at Savers for sure. So you know damn well November 1st, I'm going to be in all of these stores. I'm going to make the rounds, and I'm going to grab everything still cool that's left there. So I will be at one Savers when it opens. I'll be in line, and then I will quickly move through all 6 Savers. So if this was there on the sale day, I would then grab it and deal with it. To deal with it now, I didn't want to, but I already think it's sold, by the way. Now, someone might have bought to get married in, because just because you're getting married doesn't mean you have money to get married, but if you can find a nice dress for 20 bucks, hell to the yeah. Now, I bought this last year. It is a vintage, approximately 1950s Letterman sweater. As you can see, there's a giant hole in it, and there's a couple other small holes. It had these bitchin' leather buttons, but as you can see, the second one down from the top is also missing. And I got $50 for it. It was hanging in the costume section. So, again, keep your eyes peeled for things that truly aren't costumes. And don't shy away from things with holes when they're vintage and collectible. I'll tell you a funny side story in case you've never heard it on this sweater. Sold the sweater. A guy left me negative feedback. And you know what his negative feedback said? Fell apart when I took it out of the dryer. What idiot puts a 1950s Letterman sweater with holes in the dryer? So I was talking to eBay for something unrelated, and I pointed out that feedback to them, and even the eBay employee said, "Are you kidding me?" And they removed the feedback for me. So I was very happy. But guess what? When I called in to ask to get it removed, like I said, I was calling in for something else. When I asked to get it removed, I was not emotional. I was not irate. I'm like, can you believe this? Because if it didn't get removed, it didn't get removed. No biggie. But the fact that it did, I was very happy. And then just to show you, this is not mine, but here's another one. This just sold. Vintage Varsity Letterman sweater for $50. These are the kind of things that you see in the rack. Now, things that are normal, everyday life things can be costumes. And at this time of year, you should make them costumes by the words in your title. Now, what you see on the left side is a full-length rain slicker. You know what I see? I see a flasher costume. You don't know what a flasher is? It's a guy who wears a long jacket, has no clothes on, and shows you his junk. That's a flasher. And that's how I marketed this last year, and that's how I sold this last year. Now, whether the person bought it to be a flasher or because it rains where they live, I don't know, don't care, but I'm giving options. These are overalls. People wear overalls all day around the world. However, this time of year, these are not just overalls. They are a farmer costume. So use the words that aren't really keyword spamming because, hey, farmers wear overalls. You just want to get your stuff sold. I just sold 2 pair of overalls to the same customer here in town, 2 radically different sizes. I'm guessing him and a buddy are going to go as co-farmers or something. Oh, yeah, here's the 2 pairs I sold, $30 each. I picked them up for $4 each, and it's sold for $30 each, and it went local, so it was very nice. Now, this is what made me fall in love with the Halloween section. That day I was with Debbie and Griff, and I think a couple others were with us, Debbie, if I'm not mistaken. I run across these jeans, and they're called Get Used and by Ellie. And they did not ring any bells to me. So here are the jeans. And as you can see, the lower cuff is beat to death. And so I Googled Get Used because they were not on my radar. And somehow I missed this. Early 90s, they were a hip-hop urban brand. And if you watch Tupac videos, Tupac the rapper, he wore full outfits at Get Used. Now, I fancy myself an urban hip-hop guy in the early 90s, and I wore a lot of like cross colors, Mérité and Francois Jabot and stuff like that. How I missed Get Used, I have no idea, because it was obviously hot. Now, it didn't sell a ton apparently because when I find them, like these jeans I found in the rack that day with Debbie, these sold for $100. And I have since found Get Used overalls and other Get Used jeans, and I sold them all for over $100. So keep your eyes peeled. Now, this is the kind of thing you can find all year. Keep your eyes peeled in the Halloween section, excuse me, in the denim section for Get Used jeans. Would you like to? Okay, we're going to pause for a quick second so my son can show you his Halloween costume. Come on, let's go. My son wanted to come up and say, hey, I got my Hawaiian vest on.
Hi, everybody.
Can you tell Stacy's bored? All right, back to our presentation. So here's some Get Used that just sold, not mine, but I just, you know, for the presentation. This pair just sold for $120. So if you take nothing else away from this presentation, write down Get Used and find some. I have found 3 or 4 pairs in my thrifting life, and I've made about $100 on each pair I found. So they are money makers. Now, also in the pants section are Loudmouth. Now, I've talked about Loudmouth ad nauseum on both the Thrifting Board and Thrifty Business. If you don't know, if you know who John Daly is, he's the big fat golfer with the blonde hair that's constantly drunk, allegedly. He wears Loudmouth, made them famous. Now, these aren't necessarily Halloween, but they were orange, brown, and white. And so I happened to find them around last Halloween. So I marketed them as Halloween pants, you know, so you just an added extra bonus. You didn't have to. Plaid, orange, brown, and white is just fine, but you throw up for Halloween, someone might get them. Now, these are loudmouths I just sold last week. We're nowhere near St. Patty's Day, but I sold these Shamrock loudmouth pants for 70 bucks, and I got great feedback. The customer was ecstatic. So keep your eyes peeled for loudmouth pants. They always sell quickly, and they always sell for a good amount of money. And they always are bringing out new patterns, and what's great about them is they retire the pattern. So once a pattern's retired, you know, you can command more money. Now, also in the Halloween section, at least in Savers, and also keep your eyes peeled in your t-shirt section, is Halloween t-shirts. So in our upper left-hand corner is the movie Halloween. In the upper right-hand corner is a Harley-Davidson t-shirt for a specific Biketoberfest, and that is, oops, Frankenstein riding a Harley, and then Mickey Mouse as a zombie. So these are all either been found in the Halloween section or the t-shirt section, but you definitely want to market them at Halloween time, and all these sold for a good amount of money. And then this is specifically from the Halloween section. This and the next one I'm showing you, employees at thrift stores who are not up on the fantabulous heavy metal and hard rock bands don't know what this is, so they think it's Halloween. If you don't know what Slipknot is, when we're done looking at a picture of them, they wear masks on stage, like Halloween masks. So some thrift store employee saw this and went, oh, this must be a Halloween thing, and put it in the Halloween section. So if I don't look in the Halloween section, I don't find this great Slipknot shirt. I don't sell for $25. But speaking of, I bought this Slayer shirt out of the Halloween section last week, and I've already sold it for $23, and I paid $3.54. So I probably could have gotten more for the Slayer shirt if it had something on the back. It was just a front-only shirt. It wasn't a tour shirt, but again, some employees saw flames and skulls and swords, and they're like, ah, it must be Halloween. So these are the kind of things you can find in the Halloween section that aren't Halloween, specifically. All right, so I talked about you can find cool stuff in the regular section. So you're finding Halloween costumes and pieces of costumes in the regular sections. So, hey, let's go through the store. Okay, we're going back to sweaters here. Although they'll put cool Halloween sweaters in the Halloween section, I have found cool stuff in just the sweater section. Here's a prime example. This is, I guess I'm a hunter or a safari guy or an explorer or something, but this was a woman's sweater that I thought was badass. And like maybe like an Indiana Jones, the female version, because there's a camera hanging off the back, a little gold sack. And so I found that in the regular section. And of course, I marketed it as a Halloween costume because all you need is a pair of khakis and maybe a safari hat, and boom, easy, quick costume. Because besides having these full costumes like that Green Lantern, some people are somewhat lazy, and so they want easy, quick costumes. Everyone's probably got a pair of khakis in their closet, and you buy this, like I said, a safari hat or a pith helmet, boom, you're done. You got a costume. And so keep your eyes peeled for cool stuff like this. Uniform section. I don't know if every thrift store does it. I know most do it. But at Savers, they have a uniform section, and here's a prime example. I bought this great Army uniform that I'm going to, you know, Army uniforms will sell to collectors and fans of Army stuff, and, you know, if you find Navy and whatever. But at this time of year, I'm definitely putting the 2 words in my title, Halloween costume, because I found this in the uniform section. Jeans, like I said, going back to the Get Used, Maritain, Francois Jabot, any 90s hip-hop jeans you will find typically any time of the year other than Halloween in the jeans section, so keep your eyes peeled for them. And then these are 2 things I bought. The one on the left was actually at a estate sale on Thrift Hunters, but it was a choir robe and a really high-quality tambourine with a cross on it. And so I sold it as a choir member Halloween costume, and I sold it pretty quick. And then on the right was a 1970s full denim outfit. And again, using the term Halloween costume, I sold it at Halloween time. It isn't necessarily a Halloween costume, but people search the words Halloween costume, so you want to make sure they find your stuff. All right, now, you saw it in the little video I showed you. Pajama section is where you find makeshift Halloween costumes. Now, this Minions pajamas are pajamas, but guess what? Again, lazy costume people. Full pajamas with hood that look like a character are an easy costume. You don't got to do nothing else. So that's how you're going to sell them. Now, these will sell pajamas the rest of the year. So if they don't sell as a Halloween costume, you're still labeling them as PJs. And that was one Savers. Here's the other Savers. I found the Superman with cape in the pajama section. In the short sleeve button-down shirts, you will obviously find Hawaiian shirts. If you're putting stuff together, Hawaiian shirts, some khakis, a lei, boom, you're a tourist. Okay, so these are the times you can buy cheap Hawaiian shirts, because there are some fantabulous looking Hawaiian shirts that are just crappy brands that I would not buy the rest of the year. But if you can find them cheap, and like I said, maybe get some board shorts and a lei and some cheap sunglasses, you can put together a very cheap but very good looking Hawaiian tourist costume and sell it as a full costume. And then robes and intimate apparel is where you find like sexy Mrs. Claus or bored housewife. You know, you can put stuff together. So keep at this time of year. Oh, too funny. That's my cart on the left in the back there, full and overflowing from the women's PJ section. You can't really see it, but I didn't realize this was in the picture. That is a with feet, not onesie, but with feet, Nightmare Before Christmas PJs. And they sell, this pattern sells new for $80. And I picked up a used in great condition for $5, and I'm trying for $60. Now, here's a section you might not think of. And this is not costumes, but what do I see in this section? I see accessories to costumes. So let me point it out to you. Right here. Here is Olaf from Frozen. So if your daughter or you are going to be Princess Anna or the other one, go to the plush section, grab a $4 Olaf, and boom, you can hold Olaf, and now you got like this costume that's got this added extra component. Here is the top section. I see a couple things. The first thing I see is, hey, donkey! If you are going to be Shrek, grab a $4 donkey out of the plush section, and now you have an accessory to your, Elsa, thank you, couldn't think of Elsa, to your costume. And again, that's a pretty bitchin' little Mad Hatter from Disneyland. If you are Alice in Wonderland or the White Rabbit, is it White Rabbit? Yeah, grab that. Add it to your costume. So if you're finding costumes to sell, and say you find an Alice in Wonderland costume and you see this there, go grab it. It makes it much more of a costume, and a costume that doesn't exist, but you put it together and made it way cooler. So now it's Alice in the Wonderland costume with the Mad Hatter. Okay. Last year, if you guys remember my crazy evil clown from the Halloween event I went to in LA, I was an evil crazy clown with overalls, no shirt, to make it extra creepy and uncomfortable for people. And I grabbed a creepy little clown I bought and I drug it around by his foot. It added to my costume and people got extra creeped out. So you always want to make these, fantabulous costumes that maybe don't exist in real life, but you made it more fantabulous because you added something to it. All right, so we bought all these costumes and all this cool shit. Now we got to take pictures. Things you need, not a lot. You need mannequins. You need an assistant or loved one or kid. You need a mannequin head. And sometimes you need a live model because sometimes the mannequins just don't do it justice. Now, here is the Green Lantern on the mannequin. It looks fine, but man, I struck that superhero pose, and I wasn't going to use this picture for the listing. I took it just to be a goofball, but I'm actually going to stick this picture in the listing because I'm going to let the buying public know that I'm 6'5", around 260. And so if you're a big dude like myself, especially barrel chested, this is the costume for you. This is not a costume for a small man. Here's where you need a good mannequin and an assistant. We have a 3/4 body mannequin where the post goes through one leg. So you can now remove the mannequin from the base. You can dress it, and it is so much more helpful to have two people doing it. It goes much quicker. Now, Sophia does all my pictures, but when we're doing full mannequin stuff, like snowsuits coming up and stuff like that, it is so much quicker and easier to have it two people doing it. One of you picks it up, the other one puts the leg on the mannequin, you set the mannequin back down, you get it pulled up and all the arms through, and it goes a lot quicker. As you can see, we've got it now pulled up. If you have a doggy, like you just saw mine, have your lint roller ready so you can get all the Tocha fur off of Mickey Mouse. And then here's the key. My full-size mannequin does not have a head. Yours might. You might not even have a full-size mannequin, but you should have one if you have the room for it. But one day I'm like, oh my God, I got a styrofoam head. I'll just stick it on top of the neck. And so that way, when you have things with a hood, and it can be a hooded sweatshirt, it can be a snowsuit with a hood, it can be a full costume like this Mickey Mouse, throw that mannequin head in there, and it gives it a much better look, an enticing look, than just having the head down. And ta-da, look how much better this looks than if the head was just down, hanging on the back. And then just some other shots of putting the full look together. Now, the Joker is a kid's outfit, like a preteen outfit, probably like a 12-year-old size. So we had to use a hanger, but you saw the earlier picture, it looked really good. And then this this full-size Minion, you know, we got it on the full mannequin, and it looked much, much better. And Bert and Ernie, again, full-size mannequin, really shows a look off. Now, what I've been talking about, when I bought these costumes, someone had added the rubber ducky to Ernie. Rubber ducky, you're the one. This did not come with a costume, but someone was a genius and bought a little rubber ducky, and when he donated it, he donated the rubber ducky with Ernie. So I made sure that Ernie was holding his little rubber ducky, because we're going to highlight that, because it just that little bit, it adds to the costume. And in case you guys wanted nightmares later, here I am as Bert and Ernie. That was just a little fun for you guys. And again, for the heads, we have this little monkey, a child's monkey outfit, but we wanted to show the top on the head just to show how it looks. And then that's the Sonic head on the mannequin head too, again, to show how it looks. And then I stuck the mannequin head in the Minion to make it look good. Now, this is, as I said in the video, Skylander or something. That's where if you're a parent of a youngin, or a youngin who's maybe just like a teen or preteen, you'll know these things. This was not on my radar one bit. And Sophia's like, oh, we got to get that. That's a great costume. So she just used a little hook I have over the top of my backdrop with a hanger, and she was able to put the whole costume together and give it that nice look. So people can visually see how their kid is going to look in the costume. Now, of course, besides costumes, there are other Halloween items. And a lot of thrift stores, even if they don't have a Halloween costume section, they will have a Halloween section for tchotchkes. So the top thing is to put a candle in. It is a Jack Skellington pumpkin from Nightmare Before Christmas. Picked it out of the Halloween section for $2.99, sold it for $30 or $35. This awesome Skull and Bones mug was generic, came as a nice little carrying case. That was my opening shot. Very visual. Because it was black and white, we threw it on red, really popped, and sold that mug for 20 bucks. I picked that for $1.99. And these are Fitz and Floyd witch mugs. This actually looks like someone I know, and I bought them as a goof. And then I found out how much they're worth, and I sold this pair for $80, and I paid $4.99. So there's crazy money to be made in the Halloween tchotchke sections. All right, places to sell your costumes. Now, I probably should have done this in a better order. Of course, you're all thinking eBay, but where you want to have your costumes listed in 4 places, at least 4 places all at once at the same time. 5 Mile is an app on your phone. It started out as people within a 5-mile radius of you. You can expand out. You can go 10 miles, 15, 20 miles. But 5 Miles is an app a lot of people use. OfferUp, we've talked about many times. Again, another local app. And it's an app for your phone. You have to do all this on your phone. Facebook Marketplace, I think we all have it now. They rolled it out. You can find it on your computer. Oh, excuse me. But it's mainly on your mobile devices, phone and tablet. And, of course, eBay. So what I have done is Sophia's listing them all on eBay. And then I'm taking like maybe 4 of the best pictures that show the outfit the best. And I'm quickly throwing them up on 5 Mile, OfferUp, and Facebook Marketplace. That way, I am expanding my reach to make sure that I'm catching all kinds of customers. Now, we're gonna finish with the rest of the way, but I do have some warnings for you about selling of costumes. First word of warning: is make sure all pieces of the costume are there. Sophia handed me this little pony costume, rainbow, whatever, and rainbow, whatever her name is, comes with, guess what? A rainbow wig. But if you look at the picture on the right, there ain't no rainbow wig. They didn't donate it. So I do not want to sell this costume. There's enough things that we all have. We all have death piles. Don't go buying costumes missing key components. Now, if that bitchin' Green Lantern was missing the gloves, I might still buy it. If it was missing the Green Lantern ring, that's the whole point of Green Lantern is this ring. I wouldn't buy it. I really wouldn't. So this My Little Pony needs a rainbow wig. It didn't have the wig. I don't want to buy it. Sophia grabbed a couple other things that I actually think we ended up with one or two that didn't have the full costume, missing key components. So don't get so excited when you see something in its original bag. Make sure you poke through and look and make sure all the components are there. Warning, make sure the item works, especially if there's moving parts. Who knows who this is? I would hope most of you do. That is Baymax from Big Hero 6. Great movie. If you've not seen Big Hero 6, it is an amazing, amazing movie. This costume blows up. Inside of it is a little blower. The wrists and the ankles are tight around your wrist and ankle, and you click on, as it takes 4 AA batteries, you click it on and it blows it up. Here's the problem. I bought this the other day for $8, and it's getting about $50 online right now, and it'll probably get a little bit higher closer to Halloween. There's a short in the line that connects the batteries to the blowers, and I worked on it for a while, but time is worth money. There is a point where I'm like, I don't know if I can fix this, and I've already spent way too much time on it. I'm going to have to return it. So it's one of those battery compartments, too, where you had to have a screwdriver to unscrew it. Because Savers allows returns, I don't carry screwdrivers and batteries with me. I know some of you do. It is a smart move, especially ladies who carry a purse, but I didn't. So I brought it home. I tried it out. It didn't work. I finagled. It started to work. It wouldn't stay working. I quit working on it. I'm going to return it, and I'll find something else. So make sure that the components all work. If you have the option to return it, just bring it home and give it a whirl. And then, word of warning, quality counts and commands more money. Now, I don't realize, my mom's probably going to yell at me because my niece is named Aurora, but when I said in the video, I got this this princess outfit, I'm not sure who it is, from Disneyland Parks. That's Aurora's dress, Sleeping Beauty, for those of you who don't know who Aurora is. On the right, obviously a Snow White. The Snow White is thin and really not quality. You can tell the Snow White was from like Kmart or Walmart or Target and probably cost like 20 new. Aurora's was from the Disneyland Parks. It was thick, it was plush, it was quality. It was hefty. And when you buy anything Disney, and you should have learned this from the thrifting board and from Bridget, there are levels of Disney. There's things from Disney, which Disney usually means like Target and Walmart. There's things from the Disney catalog. There's things from the Disney store, and there's things from the Disney parks, Disneyland and Disney World. And those command the most money, Disneyland park stuff. This is from Disneyland Parks. When my assistant Sophia wrote the listing, she did not have Disneyland nor parks in the title. I explained the importance to her. She understands now. It'll always be in the title. So you can definitely feel and see quality. It was $8 for Snow White. I might have been able to flip it for 15 or 18, but the return wasn't there enough for me. I got plenty to work on. I didn't need extras. And then here's the last word of warning. There is a short window to sell costumes. Don't be on the wrong side of the wave. Party ends October 31st. You're coming up that wave? Bam. Now, like I said, cosplay lets you sell after it, but November 1st, ain't no one buying Halloween costumes. However, the difference is December 26th, I sell a lot of Christmas music, okay? So there is a difference. There is a difference between Halloween and Christmas. So make sure you're on the right side of that. Now, of course, you can save it for next year, but you don't want to try to. So here's the deal. I'm going to make a separate how-to video, how to list on 5 Mile, OfferUp, and Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to show you a little tip, a little trick to make it a little bit quicker, because today I started to list on all 3 of them. Sophia's listing on eBay. I'm listing on 5 Mile, OfferUp, and Facebook Marketplace. And so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sometime in the next 3 days, I'll make a quicker little how-to video, because I've not done a how-to in quite a while, but I'll do how to kind of quickly move through them and what to do. But here's the deal. We're fine right now. I sold the Slayer t-shirt quick. I sold the Don Post Wolf Mask quick. The others have not sold yet. I've not got any bites on it yet. It's still September. I ain't worried because I bought good stuff. Now, as we're getting to October 10th and then October 15th and 20th, we're getting closer. People are going to start being like, oh, shit, because you're also working on the fact that a lot of people are last-minute Charlies, like myself. So they're going to start buying. As you get into the week of Halloween, things you're going to want to do is, if you, like, say you had some stuff on eBay you hadn't put on your local apps, get them there. Maybe start changing prices, put them on sale. And what you do with local apps, you meet people. Now, if you're not 6'5" and 260 and not afraid of anything, and I do this anyway myself, meet someone at the corner in front of the grocery store or the police station or the gas station, someplace lit up. And plus, when people see me, they could be frightened. So I want to make sure that they realize that I'm not going to rob them or stuff them in the back of my van and then sell them on the black market. I'll meet them right in front of the front door of the grocery store. It's open. People are coming and going. I'm holding the costume. They're bringing me the money. We exchange. Easy peasy. So I know some of you might not want to do that. Maybe you live in a rural area. Hello, Dennis. But that's how the local apps work. I typically don't have people come to my house, except for when I sold my 80-inch kind of broken down TV. I really can't just wing that up to the grocery store, but these are small things. And so you're going to want to meet locally. But last Halloween, on Halloween, I had nothing left. It was all gone. I sold some stuff for good money early on. And then as they got closer, I had some things that were, I probably shouldn't have bought, but you know what? I bought a cool red cloak with a hood and a cool devil mask. And also, they weren't together, but I put them together. Now you got a whole devil outfit. A lady met me at my local grocery store, and she's like, "Oh, my kid's gonna love this." But it was a quick 2 pieces. The cloak, it wasn't a quality cloak. It probably cost me $3. The devil mask was like $3, $6. I sold it to her for $20. Now it's not a huge deal, but it was 14 cash. So that's the other thing. And my grocery store to my house is quarter mile. And I'm gonna go there anyway. I gotta pick up some milk and other things. So, think about it too. When you're doing local, it's cash. So you can tack on 16% of what eBay and PayPal and your fees cost you. And think about it. If I'm gonna sell it for 26 on eBay, if I can sell it for 20 locally, it's about the same thing. But just cash in pocket. You don't gotta tell Uncle Sam. You know what I'm saying? Oh, did I say that out loud? All right, so cool. That is my Halloween webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things, things to look out for, things to do, how to take good pictures. It's not always going to be about the products. It's going to be about how to market and sell the products. Yes, Debbie said, then yes, that's what I do. When I sell local things in my local apps, I then walk into the grocery store that has video poker. I play half of what I just received. And I would say about 70% of the time I win about double what I bet. So I've sold some for 20. I put $10 in. If I build it up for 20, then I leave with 30. And so then I just sold the item for $30. You can only do that one place. That's here in Vegas. So those of you in Sacramento or North Dakota, you don't have that option. So sorry. I see we don't have a lot of questions, but let's go over them real quick, shall we? So Jen said, what's the top price you would pay for some of those? So, a Don Post mask, most of them sell for decent money, and you'll start to know older and rarer. So I'll spend upwards of like $30 on them. And I won't do a lot of research because even if I break even, I'm okay with it because time is money. So if I can move through it quick, I'll move through it quick. And then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have bought that. Okay, that's cool. I learned for next year. The Gray Wolf was a pretty good grab for $6 to $125. The full-size costumes, once you start to do the research, you'll see what they're selling for. Now, we did one of the full-size I didn't even show you. We found a Mater from Cars, Mater. Someone sold it for nice and high, and then someone tanked it. Now, if you watched Thrifty Business last night, we talked about what do you do when people tank it. Hang tight. Now I said, Sophia, don't chase that person who's selling for the bottom level. we're going to bump up. Now, because someone's bottomed the price out, like Glenn was talking about, I'm going middle. So people are selling for 40, and then some dipshits are selling for 15. So we're going to go for about 25 right now. That's still a nice profit for us, but I'm not chasing to the bottom. I'm gonna sit in the middle. Now, if that bottom starts to change and starting to creep up, I'll knock mine up a little bit. But again, that wave ends. Cosplay is good for adults. It ain't so good for kids. So in the kids' costumes, I want them all gone by October 31st. And what I'll do is if I have kids' costumes the last week, maybe 3-4 days out, for my procrastinating parents, I will put them up on the apps for screaming deals where maybe I'll make $2 or $3, but that way I've got my money back. I'm flush to go into Christmas music season now, and I've got no costumes left over. Debbie says Halloween slated to be 9.1 billion with a B this year. So I want to capitalize on that, and this is how we do it, what you just saw today. Debbie, do you think you might find, Debbie, did you copy and paste your own question? Did you write it in the chat and then copy it over? Because I think that's fantabulous. Do you think we might find Don Post and Morris masks at thrift stores? Yes, that's where I find all my stuff. I've only found Don Post masks at thrift stores. So yes, I've not found Morris yet, but I will. And guess what? Next week, I'm hitting 8 savers. So I am slated. I am slated to find some Don Post, and I want to find one Morris mask. Chris Nelson says, I see a bunch of Don Post masks listed for auction with no bids. Cheap. What's wrong with them? It's at auction, so you know last minute bidders. And it is still only September. So if you can get them cheap, get in there and get some cheapy bids, you can flip them. Come on now. You know what? There it is. There's a webinar for a little bit down the road. I'll give you guys homework, and we'll all buy stuff on eBay in our genre, in our niche, and we'll flip it, and we'll see how we all do, and we'll talk about that, because that is a way to make money. I know some people, I got some in my family that don't like to go out in public. They're kind of like homebodies. They're kind of shut-ins. And then they're like, well, I can't work. Yeah, you can. You can make a lot of money flipping straight off of eBay and Amazon, other places. So that'll be a great webinar, how to flip without even leaving your house. Especially for those of you who live in cold places where the snow is going to kick your ass. That's my mom in Newberry. That's Dennis in North Dakota. You can buy and sell without leaving the couch. So we're going to talk about that coming up. I like that. It's a great idea. I'm glad I thought of it. All right. Perm is February 28th, and they buy costumes. Ooh, it's got an offer on something. Sorry, squirrel. They buy costumes. So keep them listed. Good point. Thank you, Debbie. Oh, here's a good question. Do you check for flame retardant before you buy? No. I'm not a parent, so that never crossed my mind. Ever. And it probably still won't even factor into my life, but those of you who are parents, it might. But if I sell a costume that isn't flame retardant, sorry about your kid. Maybe it is important, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But if you're a parent and it is, then make sure you pay attention to it. Great point, Debbie. Check for solds on Halloween books and eBay. Some are big money. Yep. And again, not just Halloween. Here's a good time to sell Ouija boards. Here's a good time to sell books on the occult, books on witches, all those things. Now, I know some of you are real religious and that you don't believe in that stuff or you won't touch it. I get it. But for those of you who aren't, and those of you who are, I'm not going to push it down your throat, but that kind of stuff will sell all year. But man, it sells real good this time of year. Shelters and pet rescues will not adopt out black cats leading up the 2 weeks leading up to Halloween because people just want the stupid props. And I get that. Same thing. You can sell a Ouija board all year, but man, you can command good money right now. You can command good money on tarot cards, all that kind of stuff. Bigger money at this time of year. For cosplay, James wants to know, for cosplay, is it for any adult costume or specific characters? Any adult costume will work, but yeah, specific characters, anime, video games, all that stuff, and then things like Star Wars and things you really know are all good cosplay stuff. But when I see pictures from Comic-Cons and stuff, I see everything, not just people playing Dr. Venkman from Ghostbusters, but people just being a demon, So yeah, cosplay can work for anything. One Witch Lady, I'm a parent. I just never lit my kid on fire, so I don't worry. I love it. Diana's got a Ouija board in the garage. Get it out. Now, tip for the Ouija board in any game, because Ouija is a game, set it up. Set it up so like people are in the middle of playing it. So get your game board out. And if you don't know, the piece that moves is called the planchette. That needs to be in your title. The older ones have a wood planchette. The newer ones have plastic. So you're going to want to indicate which either one you have. And then set the board game top right behind it. So the board game set up like it's playing and the board game top. That's your opening photo for sure. So Ouija board, Monopoly, whatever game you sell, set it up and show like it's in action. Great question. Have you had returns after Halloween on your costumes? No, I have never had a Halloween return, but I would take it because, you know, there's such a divide for people who believe in returns who don't. And we'll talk about this more too, but I want the customer to be as happy as possible. So if they want to return it, yeah, even after the fact, because I'm buying used stuff, the margins are great. And with cosplay and other things, I can resell it. I can always resell anything. But I have never, ever had one Halloween return. And I have a liberal return policy. So those who freak out, they're going to rent it. Yeah, you might get one or two. I've never had any. And I've been really focusing on Halloween for 8 or 9 years now and have had 0 returns. So to always worry about the negative is really, really stupid. What if I get hit by a bus today? Could it happen? Hell yeah. Am I going to spend 1 second worrying about it? Hell no. But if it happens, it happens. And today's my day. Today's my day. I don't plan on being my day, and I ain't going to think about it. But if it is, it is. And if it is my day, just know I love you all. Thank you. All right. That is my Halloween costume webinar. I hope you enjoyed that. Anyone understand why my name is Abby Normal or someone tonight? I was talking with Robin right before he went live. And that's Robin's dog down there. I need a third computer so you can see both my screens at the same time. Anyone know who Abby Normal is? That was a little fun I thought I'd have. I know my mom got a kick out of it. Anyone else know who's watching live right now? And Robin, don't answer because you know. I already talked. Don't ruin it, Robin. Don't ruin it. And my t-shirt could be a little clue. A little clue. Yes, Robin is Abby Normal, but that's not what I was alluding to. Oh, you didn't have to retract that. That was just funny. Yes, Young Frankenstein. If you have never seen Young Frankenstein, go watch it. One of the greatest, top 100 greatest movies of all time, one of the greatest comedies of all time. Mel Brooks is a genius. Gene Wilder is amazing. Marty Feldman, oh my God, such a great movie. And then if you've not seen it, and when you get to the Abby Normal scene, you will fully understand it. So, so thank you everyone for tuning in. So you were talking to Robin about her dog, and unfortunately, you answered my question of who Abby Normal was. You said Robin. It still worked. It still worked, and it was still very funny. And I know Robin did not take that as an insult. Very funny. Very, very funny. So thank you all. Now I want you all to go out this weekend, see if your thrift stores have a Halloween section. If you live anywhere near Savers, you do. Debbie, go get the Vacaville Savers. Find some cool Halloween shit. Now, I have somehow hopefully talked Stacy into going out tonight because what I learned, and here's my last bonus tip before we call tonight, the Savers on Tropicana and Eastern told me the other day they have so much costumes that they're waiting for people to buy to get it out. And every time I've been in there, there's been a ton of new stuff. So I want to go like every 3 or 4 days now, knowing that they are fully stocked in the back room. They don't have enough room. And so the more I buy, the more it comes out, and hopefully the more cool stuff that comes out. So Stacey and I are going to do a little Friday Night Thrifting. Plus, I need to return that Baymax costume. If you watched Thrifty Business last night, that's also where I bought the Frosty the Snowman. It doesn't kind of work. So I need to return a few things. And what I'm going to do is they only give you a credit, but I'm going to go buy more stuff. You know that for sure. So thank you for tuning in. And I haven't got up there yet, but I will. One of your fellow Beachcombers is great on Poshmark, Lynn, and she's going to do a webinar for us on Monday all about Poshmark, because Poshmark is a great place to sell, but Poshmark is like jamming eBay and Etsy and Facebook together, because it's not just a platform to sell on, it's a social platform. So, and I don't know anything. I'm on it, but I never used it. I don't know nothing about it. So I too am going to be learning on Monday. So I will get that up tonight or tomorrow. I don't know the exact time yet, but we're going to learn all about, that'll be our guest webinar for this month, all about Poshmark on Monday. So if you've watched this after the fact, I know most of you will, feel free to leave a question either on the YouTube video itself or just down below on the link in the files on the link for this webinar. I'm always happy to answer questions. And on this post in the Secret Beach, I want you guys to go find stuff and show me what you found. Either show me the cool shit you found or show me your sales after the fact, because I'd love to see the successes you guys have, because that's the whole point of the Secret Beach, to teach you things outside your comfort zone or to teach you things that you've already known, but maybe teach you a little bit better and maybe make you guys some more money, because that's always the goal. All right, that's my plan. I love you all and happy Halloween, and I'll see you around the Secret Beach. Aloha.